Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your June 2021 love reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridging the gap spread, and the way it works is the cards on the left side represent your energy toward a connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent energy toward a connection, and we'll get the past energies, present energies, future energies. Once we get through all those, we actually pull some oracle cards with some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot Sexual Magic. Also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person. So if you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Six of Coins. So this is actually Taurus energy here, and it represents, restoring balance around the situation. If you think about the fact that it comes after the Five of Pentacles, if we look at the background there, we see like that snowy background and also her facial expression. She doesn't look like she's all that impressed. So if it's you extending, trying to restore balance around the situation, it could just be saying that, the person might not be too open and receptive to it, or, well, given that this was in the past, some of you might have already done that. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. And likewise, if they were the ones trying to restore balance with you, it looked like you might not have been as open to their attempts in the past. Alright, past energy on their side, we have the Four of Chalices. So this is Cancer energy here. And what stands out to me with this deck in particular is just something about their facial expressions and just the vibe that I get from it just seems a little shady. So it could just be saying that there could have been some outside interference within the connection. Maybe there was gossip around the situation that could have gotten in the way of your connection with them. But other than that, in traditional tarot, we think of Four of Cups as representing, someone who looks like they're unfulfilled with what's being offered to them, but at the same time, they're not really doing anything to change it. So if that's the case, it could just be saying if this was you trying to restore balance with them, you might feel like they were hard to please. All right, in the present position on your side, we have the Three of Staves. So this is actually Aries energy here. So especially for those of you who did put in the effort to try to restore the balance, I feel like this is basically saying that that's you guys saying, okay, well, you know what? I made an effort. I tried to get things back on track between the two of us. If they don't want to, come forward from there, that's on them. Now, of course, the artwork in this deck, we do see that there is another person in the mix. So for some of you, could have been successful, where you might have just said, "All right, let me say my piece." Like if you had to apologize, for example, you might have made the apology, said, "All right, I'm going to let them absorb that, figure out what they want to do, and trust that if it's meant to be, they'll come back around." Right. So that's what I'm seeing with that. And given that this is Aries energy too, could just be saying that you're hoping to get the romance back on track with the connection. All right. Interestingly enough, on their side, we have the exact same energy. We have the Three of Wands. Now, this is another deck where, it does look a little bit more promising as far as we do see the two people together. But yeah, it could just be one of those things where it could play out in a poor way. For example, could just be the fact that if both of you are waiting for the other to make the next move, then obviously you guys could get a bit stuck in that regard. But so if nothing else, if you feel like there's nothing moving with the connection, it's basically because they're looking at it from the same standpoint you are. So that could be causing some stagnation there. But yeah, it could just be saying that you guys might be reuniting after a bit of a falling out in the past. All right. Future energy on your side, we have the Eight of Coins. So this is actually Virgo energy. And usually this represents just putting in work toward the situation. So given that he is pointed towards the cards on that side, could just be saying that this is you guys now actually trying to put in effort toward the connection. For others of you, could just be saying that you might be tied up with work right now, so you might even just be putting more of your energy there. But yeah, primarily I feel like this is you at least committing to making the effort to get the connection moving in a positive direction. All right, future energy on their side, we have a few cards that came up. We have the Queen of Pentacles, which is Capricorn energy. The Six of Pentacles, which is Taurus energy. And the Ace of Pentacles. So it could be one of those things where if they might have been self-absorbed in the past, because that's definitely the energy that we see there. Like if we look at the fact that she's kind of staring in the mirror. There's like that cold, icy background, and then also it looks like she's making this guy kind of like kiss her feet, not even paying him any mind whatsoever. Could just be saying if that's the mentality that they've had in the past toward you, or maybe it felt like you were the ones who had to put in all the work. This could just be saying that now they're actually the ones coming in to restore the balance with the Six of Pentacles energy there, and hoping to get a fresh start in that regard. So it looks like you guys definitely can get some forward movement around the situation now. Um, let's see if anything else comes to mind with this. And I would say, to be fair, likewise, if they felt like you were the ones who weren't really putting in any effort, they might view it that way, where they'll say, well, I'm going to start putting in a little less effort. But for the majority of you, I feel like it was more of the first scenario where they're actually, going to say, all right, if they have been the ones who have kind of been letting you do the heavy lifting in the past, now they're actually going to come forward and put in more effort toward you. All right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Two of Staves. So more Aries energy here represents usually just having a fresh start, open to new possibilities. So for some of you, that could be saying that maybe some of you might even be open to a new connection if this person doesn't get their act together, although it does look like for the majority of you, they will actually start to put in the effort. But yeah, at the very least, it looks like it could be saying that you're ready for a fresh start, whether it be with this connection or with another person. And the bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Five of Swords. So this is actually Aquarius energy here. Now, in traditional tarot, Five of Swords usually for me represents someone who hasn't necessarily healed from whatever they've gone through in their past. And because of that, they end up in repetitive cycles where they might end up pushing people away and things along those lines. So that's certainly a possibility that could have been what their problem has been in the past. But I will say with this deck in particular, it actually points more to, taking a risk in a situation. So that could be them, actually putting themselves out there and trying to make the effort toward you now. So I did want to mention both possibilities there. All right. Well, next we'll move on to the Oracle cards and see if we get anything. So first we'll see if we get anything from the Aqua Moonlight deck here. I did pre-shuffle this deck, and what I'm going to be looking for is just some jumpers to see if we get any unspoken messages from you to them first, and then from them to you after that. And if I shuffle for a while without anything coming up, I'll just move on to the next Oracle deck. But occasionally we get some extra messages here, so we'll see if we get anything. All right, nothing there. So next we'll see if we get anything from them to you. Nope, got one and it fell. So let me pick up that card and we'll see what it says. Okay. So it says broken. All right, there we go. It says the damage has already been done and I don't know how to pick the pieces up. So yeah, seeing this definitely, well, I mean, technically they could just be saying the damage could have been either of you that caused the damage, but when I first read it, it made me feel like it might have been them who actually caused the issue in the past. And, maybe that's where the difficulty has been, right? Where they have been trying to figure out how to restore balance in a situation. And like I said, it does look like they will make that effort in the future. But, like I said, for some of you, it could have been you guys who were actually the ones extending the apology in the past. And like I said, either way, the person's facial expression there, they definitely don't look too impressed with the effort. So for some of you, it could have been you as well who might have, caused that issue in the past. And through you coming back around, they might have been a bit undecided if they wanted to move forward. But yeah, it looks like it still does have that potential either way to move forward if you're open to it in the future. All right, and lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here. And same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this deck as well, but here I'm just looking for one card with general advice, and we'll wrap up. Almost had one there. Alright, so nothing's coming up, so I'll just put the deck down and we'll actually pull a card from it. So give me a few seconds to tune in. Okay, go right here. Alright, we have regeneration. There's the artwork, and the number is 46. So yeah, definitely looks like there was a separation between the two of you, and like I said, it looks like there will be some effort put in the future, but we'll see what the actual messages say. And this does remind me of the fact that, you know, we should mention you guys have that Mercury retrograde that'll be taking place in June in your opposite sign of relationships. So it doesn't surprise me in that regard to see that you have something coming back around. It says, rebirthed, second chances, new opportunities. The Oracle's message. Second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now being replaced by something better and more powerful growing in its place. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. So definitely a pretty positive message there, especially it says as far as the connection being revived in a more authentic, stronger form. So hope that resonated with you. And the relationship message says the world is based on connections and relationships. No matter what loss has occurred in the past or even now, death and endings are only illusions. There is life after death, love after loss, and in this moment you are radiating the regenerative life force energy that makes you irresistible to love in all forms. Now is the time when you will see evidence of this new emergence. Can you feel it? Love is rising up to greet you. So pretty positive message there. Like I said, for the majority of you, especially reading that main message, it does look like there is that potential to get things back on track. And I do have to say, with the open-endedness of the romantic message, that could be pointing to what I was seeing with the Two of Spades, where some of you might just decide to try luck with a new connection altogether. But either way, hope that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.